Hello, and welcome to the Dungeon of Nox'Ren, a campaign created for death, drag, and decadence, as hosted by casters and castles. We have a bunch of lovely drag queens here with us, so why don't we go around the table, go ahead and introduce yourselves. Why don't we start with Astrud?
Hi, I'm Astrud Aurelia. I am a drag queen that was on a television show called The Boulet Brothers Dragula, Season 4, and Titans. Do you want me to introduce my character at all, or do you want me to just say who I am?
We'll hold off character introductions
Okay,
until later.
okay,
Let's go
sounds good.
ahead and cut over to Evah.
Hi, I'm Evah Destruction. I was also on the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 3 and Titans as well. And I am no stranger to casters and castles, so I'm ready to play some D&D again.
All right, over to Irma.
Hi, my name is Irma Gerd, and I will be on Dragula Season 7, but don't tell anybody. I was on Canada's Drag Race, and I'm ready to play some D&D!
Yay!
And last but not least, Edie Cheezburger.
Hi, I'm Edie Cheezburger. I am a local legend in Atlanta, Georgia. And I will not be on either Dragula or Drag Race anytime soon.
You better work.
And I'm RK Wild. I will be the GM for this game. Why don't we go ahead and get started, y'all?
Let's do it.
A long time ago, the deities walked the world of Divanis. They shaped the Six Nations, helped their people, grew civilizations, created heroes, and blessed the material plane. But 1,000 years ago, they disappeared without a word. In the time since then, the world has faced crisis after crisis, but we have always come out on top. But 6 months ago, something happened. Falling from the sky, erupting from the earth, manifesting out of thin air, 12 dungeons appeared that marred the landscape of the Six Nations. With them, a proclamation. Conquer a dungeon and gain a divine blessing. In 1 year's time, those who have earned a blessing shall face the others in a tournament at the end of the world to determine who shall rule Divanis. But our story is not about all 12 dungeons, no. It's about one of them, and the challengers who stand before this Empyrean trial to earn their place in history. Our camera crosses a verdant landscape, going south of a massive castle, past enormous mountains that split this continent, towards a sprawling rainforest that spreads from the edge of these mountainous peaks. Down and down and down until we find ourselves in a small town. There are 30 or 40 dwellings carved into the massive trees that form the canopy that cast heavy shadows upon the undergrowth. Between these trees, darting between the homes, is a shadow, one who is trying to keep out of the eyes of those around them. Edie, would you like to describe your character for us, please?
My character currently is wearing a dark, heavy hooded cloak. On the outside of it, it's kind of this beautiful, deep navy blue hue. And on the inside are dazzling constellations that are like filling up kind of like the secretive parts of it. When she's walking around, you kind of get glimpses of like her constellation inside of her cape. She has this beautiful, long, iridescent hair, and she's an astral elf, so she's got a little bit of an otherworldly kind of aspect about herself. So she's got pink skin, and it kind of dazzles in the sunlight.
You are darting between the trees, not because you need to move quickly, but because you need to move quietly. You've heard the rumors of what's happening in town and the danger that's encroaching upon your new mission, and they still haven't arrived. You're doing today what you've been doing for a while, about a week or so, heading towards the northern entrance into this town, the small town of Yuzo. hoping that they finally get here. What is going through your head in these moments as you're running through the town?
So she has this omen that has been delivered from the cosmos, and she keeps repeating it in her head about who she's supposed to meet and how important they are to her mission. So she's like on the lookout to find these 3 people. She doesn't really have a great description of who they are or what they look like or, even how they'll be. But from the cosmos and from the stars she's read, she knows that they are important to her mission.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, Edie.
First roll.
This is our first roll
of
of the campaign.
All right. Fingers crossed, ladies. All right. Skill. Wait. Sorry, I'm using this D&D Beyond thing. So
All good.
there we go. Girl? Is it in the skills?
It should be in skills, yes.
Or abilities, maybe?
It really is beyond.
Yeah, it's beyond what we can find right now.
Way out there, yeah.
Hidden.
There we go. Hi, this is
Darn
Hi.
woo, child. There we go. I rolled a 19.
A 19. Fantastic. You are moving quietly between these trees. Careful not to step onto any dry twigs in the underbrush. Careful to hide in the shadows of the canopy above you and avoid any puddles left by the recent rains that have passed through this area as you move your way towards the walls of thorn and ivy that surround Yuzo village. In the distance, you see many people making their way to this village on the pilgrimage to the Dungeon of Nox'Ren. Nox'Ren, the deity of stars and night, sent a tower down to the world, his own personal dungeon. And these challengers, all before you, seek to face it. Somewhere in this crowd of people traveling from the north, from villages and towns far, far away, from other countries or continents, there are 3 other figures amongst this crowd. Evah, would you please introduce your character?
Absolutely. So standing tall at about 7 feet is a furbolg with dark brown fur that covers his body. That's what's exposed underneath his tunic, on his arms, and kind of puffing out of his chest. His skin is an light olive green shade. He's got longer pointed ears, almost resembling a goat's ears, kind of, that hang a little loosely at the sides of his face. He's got pointy little like ivory horns poking through his dark brown hair, and he has speckled white freckles that sit under his eyes. He's wearing a deep navy tunic and a darker vest over that. He has a dark brown leather apron that is wrapped around his waist, and then just very meager, just do what you can type of shoes. And then he's got various packs and a couple books strapped to himself, and he has his backpack on his back. But yeah, I guess his name is Fen, and his full name is Fen Balar, but he likes to just go by Fen, just to keep things simple.
Fen, you walk with 2 companions next to you. Tell me, which of these companions do you look to as you are walking through this forest?
Well, I imagine I'm probably looking down at the shorter one next to me. We've seen to run into a couple scraps before we set out on the path before us, and just probably checking on him to make sure he's doing okay.
Astrud, what is your character doing as Fen looks down upon you? Just trying to check in on you.
Well, my character is standing about as tall as they possibly can at a gorgeous 4 feet. We see that it is a kobold, but it doesn't seem to have the mannerisms of one. It's walking with its chest forward, its head held high, with a quarterstaff that's maybe a foot taller than he is, and he's walking with a bit of a grace and some good dexterity. He's wearing simple monk robes that are in some natural tones. He's red, got some tan belly colorations. He seems a little bit different than your average kobold for some reason, but you might not know why yet.
Mm-hmm. What is your character's name? Because you haven't said that yet.
Oh, you're right. His name is Binkleworm.
So what is Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Binkleworm, pride of the Monastery of the Four Winds.
Fantastic. Binkleworm, what are you doing as you're walking down this path?
I'm ahead of the group. I am standing right in front, sort of haphazardly leading the way with quite a bit of gusto. I'm looking around, purveying the air and the surroundings for anything that might grab my little attention or my large attention.
Roll me a perception check, please.
What do you say?
Roll me a perception check, please.
That is 12 plus 4, so 16.
All right. With a 16, you would know that you're probably getting close to the town that you've been trying to get to the dungeon that you need to conquer. But there's something strange. You can see that in the distance there is what seems to be a wall of thorns and vines, but around it there seem to be tents that have been placed out amongst these enormous trees in this rainforest. The Calderos wilds are a dangerous place to be. You know that you were from the mountains up to the north, but this area is wild and untamed and dangerous. But you can see that right outside of those walls, there are just a few tents sparkled around, each with a sigil emblazoned onto them, but you can't see the sigil from this far to make out what it is. Do you say anything to your companions?
Companions! Look ahead! Camps! And is that a blazoned sigil in the distance? I wonder what it is. Shall we approach?
Irma, how do you respond?
Okay, so you see a beautiful, not quite 7 feet, not quite 4 feet, just in the middle, just right. She's about 5'2", and what you see is mostly just shells, different kinds of seashells, like a big conch and these giant kind of oystery pauldrons. There's seaweed wrapped around with lots of bits and bobs, little shells and starfish and gems and rocks and just odds and ends. And underneath it all, you can kind of see a green-skinned Triton with a bit of like a sky blue hair. Her skin is like it's not wet, it's dewy, you know? And I think she's just, her name is Smashly. And she's got, this beautiful, like, it would be chainmail armor, but it's all from the sea. And I think she's just kind of talking to Fen, like, it's quite easy. You just, any shell, you can scrape off the little bit, and then you use a mending spell, and it'll stick right. What's that? Tents ahead?
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you say so. I haven't been to the shore in quite a while. Oh, let me go take a look at that. Actually, I
we
wouldn't
shouldn't
get
be
I
quite at the
wouldn't get
city
too
yet, right?
I wouldn't get too close.
There's nothing to be afraid of. What
I'm
can
just-
stop us? A few subtle tents.
I'm gonna So you said that there's a flaming sigil before us?
There's some sort of sigil on these tents, like on the side of them,
Oh, on the
as they've been
tents.
set up.
Okay, got it.
Yes,
Okay.
not just like floating in the air, flaming sigil.
Do I
Oh, that's
Do-
immediately what I thought it was.
do I do I recognize the symbol? Does it resemble anything?
Roll me a history check.
Okay.
Actually, Irma and Astrud, you could both make that roll too. Irma, you're gonna make it with a disadvantage though.
Okay. History. Oh shit. Okay. That is a 13.
13, okay.
I rolled a 5.
A 5, great.
19.
With disadvantage? Damn, okay.
I rolled good.
Mhm.
Wow.
Fen, you know that this is it's the symbol of some sort of like country or something. Our good friend Binkleworm, you look at this, it's a circle. You can tell it's a circle. For Smashly, looking at this, you can see that it is a black circle with sort of white lines coming out from behind it. And you recognize this as the sigil of the kingdom of Ferolin, where you all are currently. It is a sigil that is supposed to represent an eclipse, the two gods that basically helped shape the nation of Ferolin were Nox'Ren, the god of stars and night, and Dolren, the god of day and sun. So this is sort of to represent that relationship of the two and has become the sigil of the nation itself. It seems strange that there are soldiers here, though, because you had heard nothing about soldiers or any sort of official capacity of the nation getting involved with the dungeons during your travels.
I'm not really familiar with this sigil. I understand it's probably from a country. I've seen it in passing, but I can't really pinpoint. You seem to light up whenever you looked at it, Smashly. Do you recognize this?
Oh, yeah, you don't? That's the sigil for the kingdom that we're in. This is the symbol of Ferolin.
Oh. Oh well,
Weird that I know that and you
I'm
don't,
not
considering
familiar.
that I'm like not from here. But
Why
yeah,
would
I
a
thought
whole
everybody knew that.
Why would a whole country use a circle as its sigil?
It's like a flag, you know?
Very strange.
It's
Maybe
at
this
this
country is like a disc.
Hmm.
I don't really know. I haven't seen the world map.
I'm just gonna walk around the tents and see, like, is there anybody nearby, or do I see anybody?
Roll
these
me
are, like,
another
sleeping
perception
tents,
check.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
these are like sleeping tents, it seems
Right.
like.
Damn. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I rolled a 6.
With a 6, you start walking around and trying to look for something. And as you do look for anyone to talk to, you step in front of what seems to be the largest tent that is outside of these walls, and you bump straight into someone.
Oh.
She stands at almost your height. She seems to be a a golden tiefling with horns that corkscrew up into the sky, and she's wearing heavy armor, all with that same sigil of the eclipse on it. And she looks down to you and says, "All right then, can I help you?"
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. We were just passing through, and we happened to come across your encampment. What I me and my compatriots here were just passing through, and I point to Smashly and Binkleworm. Come on over and say hi.
Oh my god, hi. Wow, you are beautiful. This gold coloration. Do you have any like can I have a bit of your horn?
She sort of looks at you very confused.
Does it
And like,
sorry, does it come off at all?
it's part of me. No, it doesn't come off very easily.
Oh, okay. It's
What-
very pretty.
It would be like me asking you for your ear.
Yeah, that.
It'll grow back if you want it. You can have some.
Oh, well.
Your ear grows back if someone cuts it off?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, the fleshy part in between, yeah, it tears off all the time.
That's an interesting problem to have. I can't really relate, but what exactly is is there something going on? There's this quite a big dwelling you've set up here.
As she's about to respond, Vola, you turn the corner and you see 3 people talking to who you recognize as the captain of the soldiers in this area. What speaks to you about these people and the omen you've seen?
Well, I know that I'm looking for an adventure party of 3 people. So that is clue number 1. But I'm looking for I'm looking for people who I have a whole list that I'm looking for. That's beautiful. I'm looking for someone who inhabits valor. I'm looking for somebody that has supreme serenity, and I'm also looking for a boundless mind. So I'm trying to see if I can decipher that from looking at these 3 characters who
These 3
are
characters.
bumbling into a military encampment.
Mhm. You see them bump into the captain, who, looking at Fen and hearing the question of, oh, what are you all doing here? She looks down and says, have you not heard? King's made a declaration, sending the whole military down to destroy the tower.
Oh,
Destroy the tower.
Destroy it.
what? I understand that there's been a lot of commotion, but I didn't think that there was anything that serious happening. What would cause you to want to destroy the tower?
Not me, just following orders, but
Oh,
apparently King doesn't like the fact that the gods are trying to give us orders again.
So, sorry, they're trying to destroy the town of people that's been there this whole time? And
The
not
tower,
the tower.
the dungeon, not the town.
But surely that would cause so much damage to the town.
Well, fortunately, tower fell far enough outside the town that it shouldn't cause any issues.
I'm sorry. My name is Fen. What was your name by chance?
Captain Nakamura. She sort of like stands up a little bit straighter as you ask her name. And the rest of you?
I'm gonna step forward. Well, listen, what is it? Akamora?
Nakamura.
Nakamura. See, this is going to be a little bit of a problem considering that we need to, check out this dungeon ourselves.
Well then, hope you get there quick.
Quick? Quicker than what? Your army?
Quicker than the rest of the military gets here. Apparently they have some sort of weapon that can take out the dungeon quite easily.
That is a bit of a
I've heard
problem.
the dungeon is quite big and quite strong. So, what kind of weapon would be able to take out something like that?
The captain
It's
sort of
literally made by
pauses.
God.
The captain sort of pauses when you says that and says, "You're not wrong about the size of the tower. Take a look," and pulls out a sort of telescope from inside of her armor and extends it and
May I?
points it out up into the canopy for you. As you look through the telescope,
Wow. It's tall, but it's girthy too.
No, that's a tree.
Oh.
I do use. Yeah, it's got branches.
as you
Oh,
look
yeah.
through the canopy, you see far, far in the distance, going higher than you can imagine, up into the cloud line, is what seems to be a silver tower, made of almost pure moonlight, it looks like.
It's beautiful. Oh my god, you guys have to look at this. It is stunning. Like I thought we were going to like crawl into some dungeon underneath the ground and have to like climb around with spider webs and rats and stuff, but this is so pretty. I'm so glad I came with you. You were right.
Hands over the
Precious.
telescope
Take a
to you
look,
both
take a
if you'd like to take a look.
Yes,
I'll-
hand me the telescope.
Oh,
Please.
and I'll hand it over to the kobold.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go.
Yes, I see it. It is tall.
Yes. Yeah, take it.
And I
Not
just
as girthy as I thought.
I
it'd be,
take it.
though.
I take the telescope and I kind of just give it a good look. See, are there any distinct things about this tower that stick out to me that are unusual or?
Roll me an investigation check, please.
Not using this dice anymore. Okay, that's a 6.
With a 6, I mean, it is, even in the daytime, it seems to be glowing. You can
Okay.
tell that from the distance you're at.
Okay.
That, like, even through this telescope, it seems to have a glow about it.
Interesting. Well, is there? Well, we were hoping to reach the town next over. Do you know how far that might be?
Oh, it's only about 5-minute walk that way. As she sort of like shakes her head towards that wall of ivy and thorns that you can see has like an opening in it along this well-trodden path that you were on.
All right. All right. Well,
Can I ask, like, what was the shape of the tower?
What do you mean? Like, how
Like,
was
is
it?
it straight up? Is it a spike? Is it like?
It is straight up, and you cannot see the top of it because it goes up into where the clouds are.
Any
Maybe.
windows or anything?
Not as far as you can tell from that distance.
Oh my god. I hate brutalist architecture.
Vola, do you do anything as you see these folks having this conversation with the captain?
I feel like she's just like, oh no, this is not the group of people that I am like looking for. This cannot be. She's like questioning everything about herself. She is watching 3 adventurers, for lack of a better word. Oh, can you hear me?
No, I can hear Vola.
Okay. And she's just like, this cannot be the people that I am destined to meet. They're going to
Did we lose
unravel
one
the
of them?
mysteries of this dungeon together.
Yeah.
She's
So what are
very
you-
cautious of the military and being around them. She's been sort of a recluse for a while, so you know, a druid who wants to stay away from the military as her, you know.
Yeah. So, what are you doing in this moment? Are you just like running away, or are you just like not getting involved with them?
I feel like she's just like, you know, frozen in place and watching, trying to see what happens, but hoping, for lack of a better word, that they decide to leave the captain.
Great. So the captain looks at you all and sort of says, "Well, anything else I can do for you?"
Well, no, I wouldn't say that there's anything I'm particularly curious about anymore. I think we know exactly where we need to go, but I'm sorry again for disturbing. I didn't mean to bump into you like that. I apologize.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Ooh, okay. That was nice. That is 18.
Cool. With an 18, you see for a moment that like hard expression that Captain Nakamura has been giving you softens for a moment, and she says, "Listen, if you're going to the tower, get there soon. It's about a day or 2 before the rest of the army arrives. Try to be out of there by the time they get here."
Oh, sure.
Dereliction?
Yeah, sure thing. I guess everybody, do you want to, I guess, press forward? I don't want it to get too late in the day before we reach the town.
You heard the golden one.
Oh.
We must leave. We must progress. We must get to this tower.
She looks at you, Binkleworm, and says, "Yes, you should probably get going. Are you okay?"
Am I okay? Are you okay, you nimbling ditwit?
I
He's
just
better than okay.
I
He's
just
our little friend.
rub between
He's
my
a
eyes a
dragonborn.
little bit.
I'm trying to think how she would respond to this.
Oh,
She's yes.
Don't mind him. He hasn't had anything to eat today. It's been quite a bit of a walk. Yeah, he means well. He's just a little bit excitable sometimes.
I slowly start growling lightly.
Mm,
I pet
Okay.
Binkleworm on his
That's-
little head.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
good to know. Anyways, you better gotta move on. And she sort of like stands at attention and just sort of like not stares you down, but definitely stares Binkleworm down.
I stare right back, baby.
Mhm, mhm.
Oh, okay.
I like reach into my little seaweed pouch and I take out like the tiniest, cutest little starfish. It's like just a little baby. But I'm like hold it like to her. Does she have any like pins or like badges or anything? Because she's
You can see that her armor, she has like sort of cloth on top of it that has like a badge on it, marking
I'm
her as
gonna
like
hold
a
it.
member of the
I'm gonna hold the starfish next to her little thing and be like, "Do you mind if I do you mind?"
Sure, go ahead.
And I just cast a little mending so that it sticks right next to her and she has this new little starfish badge. I'm like, it was so great to meet you, dear.
She
Thanks.
looks at it, cracks a little bit of a smile, and goes, "All right, good luck at the dungeon. Don't die."
Good luck with your ears.
And you all begin to head off, leaving Captain Nakamura behind and heading towards the town of Yosu. So, you all start walking south. Vola, are you still hiding away from these folks, or are you planning on getting involved? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to intercept them, but outside of the encampment.
Okay. So, as you all walk away from the encampment, you sort of get past it, move further down, closer towards the village. Vola, how do you make your entrance? You rolled such a high stealth, I don't think anyone's noticed you.
I think I'm just gonna appear. I think I'm gonna like circle in front of them and get in front and just be standing stoically in the path ahead of them. Kind of like around a bend, you know.
Mhm.
You go around a corner and I'm just standing there.
As the path turns and winds through these woods around these massive trees, you see standing firm in the path before you this astral elf with pink skin that seems to sort of glow slightly in the dim light down here.
Ah!
I I'm gonna take a couple steps, but then pause for a second and just kind of keep walking forward, but kind of like inadvertently, just not trying to avoid her gaze, but just kind of looking up at her and just yeah.
Are you just trying to like walk around her and just get
Well,
to your destination?
Well, it's more of like a, oh, am I in your way? Sorry, should I go
Mhm.
around you? Oh, we're going the same. Oh, sorry. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hail, travelers. I have been waiting your arrival for quite some time.
Wow. Well, we just got here. Who are you?
My name is Vola Aldora, and I have waited quite some time for your arrival. Now, we must not waste any more of your precious time.
Did you guys make an appointment with her or something?
Why is my time precious?
No,
Your time is precious because your lives are fleeting. You
Fleeting.
mortals lead quite short lives.
Interesting.
You shouldn't say short too much around this one.
Well,
Sensitive.
Excuse me? What are you indicating?
It's just an observation. No more.
Hmm.
Sorry,
Well-
I think we've gotten off on what I would call a weird foot. What's your name?
I am Vola Aldora. What is
Hi,
yours?
Bola. I'm Smashley. This is Fen, and this is Binkleworm. Do you make a habit of standing around wooded areas? Is this a hobby of yours?
This is not a hobby of mine. I have more lofty goals. Do you have habits of bumbling around encampments full of the army?
In fact,
Yeah,
I do.
I do.
I can't.
We all kind of do.
I no,
Well.
I can't say that I make a habit of disrupting army business. I tend to stick to my own own goings on. But well, I can't say that I'm your normal mortal of what you said, but things have definitely been strange lately. Do you have anything to do with this growing presence of the gods returning, from what I understand?
No, I'd simply await their arrival.
Oh.
And now that they have arrived, we must get to going.
Well,
Not
we
to get
are-
to going. Not to
Let's
get
go,
to
bro!
going.
To going.
Out of here!
Well, I don't know about you if you wanted to keep standing around in this wooded area, but we are on our way into this little village, Yuzo. You're welcome to do like a walk and talk with us if you want.
So I have a question. The town is before the tower? Or are they
Yes.
separate directions?
The town is before the tower. The tower is basically directly south of the town.
Okay.
So it is the nearest location where you can resupply, get food, get any weapons that you want, or any of those sort of things. So most of the adventurers / travelers have been stopping there, resupplying, and then heading south to the tower itself. The actual tower is about a half day's travel away from Yuzo.
All right.
What is your business with us specifically?
That is none of your concern for now.
I'm gonna do an insight check. That would
I
be.
forgot this was a game with dice. You could just make decisions like that. Wow.
I rolled.
She said, "This is Baldur's Gate 3."
I rolled a 12.
Yeah, I'd like you to roll not a deception because you're not lying to them, but performance, I think.
A 19.
A 19.
I'm a high roller over here.
Looking at Vola, you can't read her very well. She's holding herself so high and mighty. You're not sure what it is about her, whether it's the fact that she has this like bright pink skin or like how she's holding herself, but she seems almost otherworldly in a way. Whether you trust that or not is completely up to you.
Okay. Well, it seems we're going in the same direction, so you're more than welcome to join us, whether you have business with us or not. But it's very nice to make your acquaintance, Miss. And why don't why don't we, as she said, walk and talk and just make our way there.
I will travel with you.
I
Now
give you
let
a
me
short
ask you,
now.
right? Which is like, She kind of wraps her cloak around her and she like holds it tight and walks along them.
All right.
Oh, this
Or
cloak
with
is
them.
beautiful.
Thank you. Please keep your hands to yourself.
My hands are like on it, and I like.
You're like about to put another starfish on it just for funsies.
I'm trying to take one of the little stars from the constellation.
All right. The four of you, unless you all want to discuss, you can chit chat and everything, but you head south towards the town of Yuzo. It's only about a 10-minute walk or so, but you can see that this town is protected by this dense wall of thorns that seems to be about 10, 15 feet high and surround a large area of trees. Entering the town is quite easy. There seems to be some security at the front, people wearing sort of matching sort of guard uniforms with scimitars in their hands and other sort of very natural weapons. You can see they have spears as well. But entering into the town, this wall passes by and you can see a beautiful clearing within this place. And by clearing, I don't mean that everything's been cleared out. I mean that there is such natural beauty here that has been taken care of and tended to. You can see that the people in this town live inside of the trees of this rainforest, having carved out homes in the trunks and making them into their own bases and dwellings. You can see that paths are made not of stones, but of flowers along grassy lanes that are comfortable and soft to walk on. You see people are dressed in very natural clothing, leaves, plants. It seems like, Smashley, you definitely would recognize this. Most of the clothing and sort of ornamentation that people have here has either been dyed from flowers or been made of plants and leaves and tree bark, that sort of thing. This seems like a place where if you were to set up an Etsy shop, you would do really well because they would love your natural vibes that you have going on.
You know, Smashley has 3 Etsy shops. You know she does.
But yeah, you basically walk into what looks almost like a druid grove within this rainforest.
Oh my god. Wow, this place is so cool. Why are we even going to this tower? Can we just stay here?
I do have much respect for the people who live in accordance with nature. I could meditate here for hours.
Oh, but why would you want to sit in one spot? Just look at all the stuff around. Look at that fabric. Can you tell that that is dyed with turmeric?
I have not much desire for material things.
People just don't have an appreciation for the arts, I guess.
Vola, you've been staying here for about a week. How do you feel about this town?
I mean, honestly, to her, nature is part of her repertoire, if you will. But she's tiring of it. She has a mission to get to this tower. And so this like natural beauty of this has kind of lost its like bedazzlement over her. She's been here for a week and she's like ready to go.
What about Fen? How do you feel about this place?
Well, looking around, it's almost like an extension of where I've been used to living my whole life. Seeing all the greenery, I just inhale and just take in all the natural scents around me, and I take it upon myself to kind of kneel down to some wildflower I see on the ground, and I just kind of like reach out and touch it and just whisper gently to it, saying, "You're doing a great job." And then it just slowly opens up and blooms before me. And then I just kind of straighten up and just take in more of the surroundings. But I'm at peace. This is a nice place. I wouldn't want to leave here too much in a hurry, to be honest, either. If I'm being quite honest, this would be a nice palate cleanser compared to where I've seen in my travels.
I agree. This is one of the nicest places I've seen since I came out of the ocean. Most of these land towns are so dull. They're just wood and stone. This one is top of the list. Top of the list for sure.
Well, as much as it would be lovely to vacation here, we do have a task at hand, and that is getting to this tower. As we know from the captain of the guard we just spoke to, the military will be arriving in only a day or two.
That's
Right.
true.
I did have a inquiry though. Vola, have you ever heard of a place in town called the Jaguar Spot?
The Jaguar Spot.
Vola, you would actually know this place.
Okay. I'm like, yeah,
My
definitely.
apologies. You would know this place. This is the inn in town. It is basically where, if you've been staying somewhere, you've most likely been staying there. A lot of travelers pass through there, grab drinks, grab meals, and everything. As I've said previously, a lot of people come to this town to resupply. The travel from the northern side of Ferolin is quite long, and there's not a lot of towns in the Kelderos wilds. So this is like the location to resupply. So people will go to the tavern, take a long rest, get food, that kind of thing, and then go shopping around in town for any items they might need.
Indeed, I do know of the Jaguar Spot. Unfortunately, right? It's the place where everybody supplies at. Don't you know? If you'd like, I can take you there.
If you would be so kind to, yes, I would greatly appreciate it.
What business do you have at the Jaguar Spot?
Well, I'm meeting somebody in connection to somebody very near and dear and very close to me, and it's in relation to the tower that we're headed towards. But I needed to inquire with somebody very important there, is what I'll say.
I will take you there, but a forewarning: we do need to leave this place as soon as possible.
Oh,
as
absolutely.
you've said, the military is amassing outside and will attack the tower. If we have not broached the ramparts of the tower, I fear that all will be lost for us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't intend to waste any more time, but yeah, this will just be just a second. I just wanted to make a quick stop.
Then follow me.
All right.
And she marches off to the Jaguar Spot.
I give about like 4 feet of space between us, but I follow along right behind her.
Yeah.
Fabulous. I'm starving.
Great.
Y'all start marching along towards. Oh,
did we lose somebody?
Irma's like lagging just so slightly behind.
Oh, okay.
Now fully frozen, so that's fun.
It's that Canadian internet.
I snuck in a slow spell.
Notorious.
You just toss the slow spell at Irma real quick. So you four continue onwards, moving towards the Jaguar Spot, sort of navigating your way around this encampment, this town within this massive jungle. And you find yourselves outside a tree that seems bigger than most others. You know that most of the trees in this village seem to have room for like probably a small family to live at. This one is massive, and it seems that they have carved not only the base of the tree out, but even further up, going up the trunk about 50 or 60 feet up. They have carved out and made into a home and a establishment, and you can hear that this place is raucous. People are partying, they're celebrating. It is like currently maybe 10 a.m., and you can hear that there is a bash going on. People are pounding back drinks. As you approach, someone's like thrown through a window and like lands on the ground face down.
Damn.
It seems like a wild time in this tavern. And Vola, you've been dealing with this all week. Adventurers.
Her face is so drawn. She's like miserable. She she really hates after spending so much time alone, coming and being in like Party Town, USA.
Mm-hmm. After basically you've been dealing with all the adventurers. That's why this place is so raucous.
It's miserable.
Because there have been hundreds and dozens upon adventurers just showing up to try and challenge the dungeon and just making a mess as the four of you approach. Stepping into the Jaguar's spot, you are greeted with warm light cast not by torches or candles, but glowing fireflies that seem to be crawling along the walls and sitting there almost placidly, as if this is where they're meant to be. There aren't invaders, but a part of the decor and the elements of this place. The entire house is warm. This tavern is warm despite there being no flames inside. You can see rows of tables of people eating and chatting and having a good time. And at the very back of this inn, there is a large bar next to a staircase that goes upwards, probably to rooms. And behind the bar are a few people, but the person who seems the most imposing behind this bar is a around 7'4" half orc with golden tusks pointing out from her bottom lip as she stands there. Her arms, each one is as thick as like a branch of one of these trees, as she truly picks up a barrel over her shoulder and places it where the kegs should be and begins pouring a beer for someone in the tavern. What do you all do?
Well, I get very excited about the fireflies because I'm starving. So I immediately get, oh, finally, some good food. I have been wandering for days. And I just start leaping at these fireflies, trying to eat them.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Oh, that's a good one. There we go. Okay, just a quick question. So for acrobatics, is that going to be my proficiency bonus, or do I add my dexterity modifier?
Are you proficient in acrobatics?
I am proficient in acrobatics.
So that will be your proficiency modifier plus your dexterity bonus.
Oh, shit. Okay, great. This is going to be good. I rolled a... What is that? Oh, okay, it's fine. What's 6 plus 7? Is that 15?
13.
13.
I'm great at math.
You jump up to start munching on these fireflies. And as you do, one of the fireflies that you aim for quickly moves out of the way almost instantly, like it was expecting you to show up. And you hear across the din of everyone talking and chatting, someone shouts at you. And you can see that it is the half-orc with the golden fang says, "Hey! Don't touch the fireflies. They're working."
Okay, how
Yeah,
much for a
worm.
firefly then?
Do you want bugs? I can give you bugs. The
Yes,
fireflies are lighting this place.
Oh, I thought they were just, appetizers, like free chips. Yes, I would like some bugs.
All right, come on up here. She waves you forward.
I skip along very excitedly.
I'm gonna follow behind him just to make sure he's okay.
He's not going to cause any issues.
Yeah, I think I immediately am
This
like, let's get a
half-orc
seat at the bar.
leans on the bar, and you can almost hear the wood groaning as her weight falls upon it, and she looks over the edge of the bar down to you. Sorry, my brain just totally forgot your character's name, Binkleworm. My apologies.
It's a mouthful.
And says, "All right, what kind of bugs do you want? You want grubs,
Grubs.
maggots,
Grubs.
grubs? Fantastic. I'll have someone scrounge up some grubs for you. That'll be 2 copper."
See, I am but a traveling monk.
I'm
I
just
don't-
gonna throw the cop. I got this. I got you. Yeah.
I do admire your strength, though. You're probably maybe as strong as I.
Okay. Vola, you're keeping some interesting company today.
Tell me about it.
Vola, you would know that this is Gilra Goldfang, the owner and proprietor of the leopard spot. The jaguar spot, my apologies. She looks at you and says, "You haven't come back with anybody these days. Why these folks?"
Well, the stars have aligned finally for myself and my fellow companions. And this Furbolg here is looking for someone. Would you be of any assistance?
All right. Sort of looks at you, then has to actually this is the first time she's actually had to stand up to look at somebody. She's like, good to meet you. What do you need? Who do you need to find?
Yeah, no, pleasure to make your acquaintance. You have a very lovely establishment here. No, I was actually wondering, do you know Professor Ignis?
Professor Ignis. I do know Professor Ignis. He's been away for a while. He was here for a little bit, about a few months, but since then, apparently his research has taken him to the tower.
Oh, right. That's what I was inquiring about. I need to I need to see him as soon as possible. Do you happen to know? So you said that he's over at the tower currently?
Yeah, he's been staying
Okay.
there.
Okay. All right. So
can-
I actually, sorry, go ahead.
I can give you some more detailed instructions and some of his things. He left them here, left in a hurry when he did.
Oh,
That might be
yeah,
helpful for you.
absolutely. Yeah. Anything, I'll be gladly able to take it.
So are you the headmaster he was talking about?
Oh, no. I was one of his pupils. And something's happened, and from what I understand, I needed to meet with Professor Ignis just to relay some information that's very, very important to communicate. But also, apparently he also has some information that could be helpful for me as well.
Yeah, well, I hope he's still alive out there. It's been quite dangerous by the tower nowadays.
Yeah, I would hope so too. I did travel a long way, so it would be nice, very helpful.
I'm sure. So, you're getting some information. The grubs are on the way for you. What about you, pretty lady? As she leans forward again on the bar.
Sorry, I didn't get your name. What was it?
I'm Gilra. Nice to meet you.
Hi,
Gilra Goldfang.
Smashly.
As
Pleasure.
you hold out your hand, without hesitation, just leans forward and kisses your hand.
Gilra, do your tusks come off?
The caps do if you wanna. And she grabs it and pulls it off, and you can see the real fang underneath it. The gold back on.
Wow.
I normally save that for if they ask.
I told you this kind of thing happens. They're so beautiful. Is gold a thing around here? Is there lots of gold?
There aren't lots of gold. Got this from my hometown back near the capital, but had them for a while. Figured it was good with the last name and all.
What do you think of a trade?
Trade for what?
I've got this, and I crack off just a little bit of a red coral, and I'm like, I have this beautiful red coral. It's from the bottom of the ocean, and it's
very
so pretty.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Trade for what? My tooth or the gold cap?
If you want, I will carve this little piece of coral so that it will cap over your tooth, and then you could have one gold one and one red one, and I think that would just be so pretty.
Well, we persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Oh, it was 17 both times, and persuasion +7.
Wow,
24.
Jesus Christ.
She looks at you and says,
Also, I am like rubbing her hand. It is sapphic.
Mhm. Her hand is like probably double the size of yours, just like truly massive compared to you. And she looks at you and sort of like nods and says, "All right, why not?" She pulls off one of the gold caps and says, "Want me to clean it?"
No.
Hands it right to you, just like right to your open hand.
Oh my.
And then I'm going to, while I'm drinking, just like carve the little thing and just like make like flirty little small talk with her. So like, are you from around here?
You start flirting a little bit, and she's like,
Yeah.
from the capital originally, but moved down here a few years ago with my sibling.
Do you have any hobbies and stuff?
Plenty of hobbies. Not much I can talk about in polite company, though.
Really? Oh my god, like cross stitch.
She looks at you and sort of like narrows her eyes and says, "Yeah, cross stitch.
Oh, wow, you'll have to show me sometime.
I love to." She leans in real close and says, "Embroider pillows."
I love that. I think I'm like, if there's any attempt at like an innuendo there.
This is truly not an innuendo. Looking around, you
Okay.
can see some of the benches have like little pillows that have been embroidered. There's one that says "fuck around and find out," and a bunch of other pillows just sort of scattered about the place as decoration.
I
Oh
love
my
her.
god, Gilbert, these are beautiful. Do you sell them, or is it like just a hobby thing?
Just a hobby.
Good, because when you like start to really capitalize on your hobby, it really kind of takes the fun out of it sometimes.
You and Gilra kind
Anyways,
of
this
get
is
into deep conversation.
this happens for a
about-
long time.
Yes, a long time. But in the meantime, food is brought out for all four of you, including Vola if you would like to eat, along with some ale for everybody or other drinks if you prefer wine or something. But in the meantime, of course, Binkleworm, you get your grubs. They're grubs neatly placed on a log for you. It's a small log. And Fen,
Yes.
you see that one of the people who've been working behind the bar goes upstairs and leaves for a little bit, then comes back down and basically hands you like a small bag of things and says, "These are from the professor. They were up in his room, so you can go ahead and take those to him because he did not clean up after himself."
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for grabbing this for me. I'm just gonna set my teacup aside and is it heavy?
It's not heavy, but it seems like there's definitely more than one thing in this bag.
I'm just gonna kind of open it up and kind of take a peek inside. What do I see?
Opening the bag, you see 4 potions that right off the bat I'll tell you you recognize as healing potions, just standard healing potions. You see what seems to be a stack of papers, sort of bound in like, not like fully bound into a book, but almost like spiral bound with thread. That seems to have been done very hastily. And then you see a sort of small golden sphere, like no bigger than a golf ball.
Do I recognize the sphere in any way?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana, that will be a that'll be a 24.
With a 24, you recognize this as most likely some sort of magical focus. Probably used by a wizard or someone else in that sort of nature. Whether this is the professor's or someone else's, you're unsure of, but you know this was found with his stuff.
Okay.
So he probably needs it in some sort of capacity. Why he left it behind is unclear, though.
Okay.
But it feels. Do you touch it, or are you just looking at it?
Oh no, I'm holding it up between 2 fingers and just kind of. It's like the size of a marble compared to my hand.
As you pick it up and you're holding it, something about it feels familiar to you, but you're unsure what.
Okay.
Is this a
Okay.
gold ball?
This is the gold, like,
It's
golf
golden.
ball-sized ball.
Okay, I immediately stopped chomping on my grubs that I had been so engrossed in, and get very, very distracted by this golden shiny thing in Fenn's hand, and I turn with my mouth full of grubs and just kind of go, attempting to get your attention, asking what this thing is.
I mean, it seems to be a conduit of some kind to channel arcane energy. From what I can tell, I've seen a couple of these before, but not quite one like this. But yeah, I'm sure he'll need this for sure. This looks like an important pouch, so I'm just gonna kind of tuck it away in one of my side pouches and just like pat it safely.
Wait. If you'd like me to hold that, I'd be happy to.
I'm sure it would be safe in your possession, but I really do think I should be the one to deliver it. I do need to speak with this person quickly. So I mean, once we're done, I would like to make my way towards the tower if we can.
Fine.
But no rush. You look like you're enjoying the grubs. I don't want you to upset your stomach.
Yeah. I turn back to my grubs.
Turn back to your grubs.
What'd you
Get
say?
back to eating. I said you turn back to your grubs and get back to
Yeah,
eating?
once it's out of my sight, I kind of lose interest. Now that I can't physically see it anymore, I'm not as distracted, and I can regain my attention on the grubs.
I did want to turn to Vola and just acknowledge her, and so you strike me as somebody who is who also practices magic in a way. You look like you know your way around a few spells. What's your story? Where do you come from?
Spells. Further elaborate on what kind of spells you're speaking of.
Well, I got a sense that you have some sort of mysticism about you, and you don't look like the run-of-the-mill sorcerer that I've come across in my time, but you seem to have some sort of connection with more natural elements, from what I can tell.
You would not be wrong in your assumption. I am a druid, and I garner my power from the stars and the cosmos.
And I raise.
What about you?
I'm
Since you're so interested.
Well, I have a lot of respect for people of your practice, and I appreciate the work that you do to help maintain the balance between what humanity tries to destroy and corrupt. But I would say I'm a wizard, and I study more under the clairvoyant and divination kind of spells. I started having weird dreams as a kid, and my teacher saw that I should use my gifts for something more, what he says, productive. And the next thing I know, he put my nose to a grindstone in the form of a spell book, and then I'm reading half his library, and you know, summoning this, conjuring that, and trying to understand more about the weave around us and the ley lines and channels of magic that exist in our realm, and even beyond our realm too. I'm looking forward to traveling to some other planes of existence. To be honest, it's kind of a little dream of mine, but yeah, I'm doing. I'd say I'm doing okay. I'm still here before you today, so.
And tell me, because you have such powers that deal with divination, do you know of any omens or prophecies surrounding this tower?
Well, from what I can tell, I have been having certain flashes. It all appears subliminally, if you will. It comes and goes in these flashing images, either in my dreams or if uh, it happens so randomly sometimes. But I I have seen. As soon as I saw the tower, it was almost familiar to me because I have seen uh, structures like this in my dreams, and just I'm trying to find my teacher. I'm trying to find him. He disappeared before I could learn anything more about what's going on, and then that's when I started seeing more and more things that were telling me that this was the path that I needed to walk. So I'm a little lost, but it's weird. It's like a feeling of being lost, but you have a push behind your back telling you where to go. It's very conflicting, and I kind of rub my head a little bit.
Fen, I have a question for you. As you're describing this and having this conversation, would you like to push for a vision?
Hell yes. I would very much like to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a intelligence saving throw, please.
God. All right. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna use this. Okay. Let's see here. Features, skills, I guess, or
Saving throws.
right, saving throws. Where's that page? There we go. Oh, okay, perfect. That is a 19.
Your visions have been.
You're gonna die. No, I'm kidding.
You're gonna die. Everyone around you's gonna die. The world burns. No. Your visions have been very esoteric, very secretive, very confusing. But in this moment, as you're describing what you've seen, as you're describing where you've been, who you've been, and what you've been trying to do this entire time, you see a vision. I'm going to give you another choice. You can pick from one of three things, and I will describe it further. You can either get a vision of dangers to come, a vision of allies you might meet along your way, or a vision of what secrets might lie in the tower.
Okay. Secrets. I'm gonna go with secrets.
Okay. You pause for a moment as you finish saying this long speech to Vola, and suddenly you feel something in your head just sort of click into place, and you see something else. You find yourself in an immense expanse of darkness filled with stars. Before you is a massive shattered clock tower that seems to float in space itself. You see a figure with skin like the night sky speaking to you, giving you warnings and guidance. You see 3 doors, and above it all, you see living constellations moving around you with violence and anger in their eyes. And you are pulled back to your seat as you find yourself back in the tavern with Vola, who may not be present currently.
Would you have kind of like, gone "That's so Raven" on us?
That's where my mind first went.
Like, what's the visual of?
So whenever that happens, I imagine that like where my ears were sitting, they kind of just like lower themselves, kind of almost like cats when they go airplane mode, where they kind of tilt their ears back, and my hands were probably open on the counter, but now they're in like full grip, and I'm just kind of glazed over, staring forward, and then it just becomes a and then a slow exhale that's kind of a rattled breath. And there's a slight cold sweat on the back of my neck as I unclench my fists. It seems I can't even describe really what I just saw. It was odd. There was stars, and it almost looked like an old god and others that were angry, and there was a clock tower, and it was shattered. It's almost like when you wake up, it's almost like when you wake up from a dream and you can barely remember it, but you do in a weird way.
Are you there?
Yeah, no, I'm present. Yes. Sorry, I kind of went out there for a second. It happens from time to time. As I said, but
Do you have any insight on what this might mean for us?
it definitely.
A wild guess?
I have, well, from what I understand, it could mean that time is definitely not on our side. It's very fleeting, and I believe that there are forces greater than us that are very upset with us on this physical plane. I'm not exactly sure why, but it's not quite clear at the moment. I'm just gonna kind of bow my head and just deep, like, bury my nose into my teacup and just like drink deep.
As you all pause and take in the sounds of this vision and the descriptions that have been given to you by Fen, your gentle giant of the group, we see this still image of you all in this tavern. And that is where we are going to take our break. We're going to take a break for 5 or so minutes, or 5 to 10 minutes. Go ahead and do bio breaks, and then we will see you all back here soon when we're ready to continue the session. Don't leave the Twitch yet, because the game is still going.
Don't leave!
Yes, you better not leave.
Stick around, tweet about it, post it on Instagram, do what you got to do. We'll see you soon.
Do you want us to...
Hello, and welcome back to the Dungeon of Nox'Ren, a campaign created for Death, Drag, and Decadence, hosted by Caster and Castles. Death, Drag, and Decadence is a collective of queer individuals and artists that love to play, create, and entertain through TTRPGs, and we are excited to share this campaign with everyone. That said, let's hop right back into it. The four of you were seated at the Jaguar's spot, sort of mulling over the vision that Fen has described to you. These constellations that are angry and mad, a broken clock tower, a avatar of a god perhaps, and all these different images. What do you all do in this moment?
I think I'm like I was flirting with Gilra, and when Fen was like, I was like, oh my, sorry, what's that? What? And like trying to like divide the attention, and I'm like, look, I'll be back. So I like go over, and I've listened to what you said, but I'm like, girl, like, Fen, Fen, are you okay? You really look awful. Like, that sounds really. I like take out like a little rag and like kind of pat the sweat off your forehead. It is a kind of damp rag though, so.
It actually makes your forehead more wet, but with salt, like, salty.
Yeah, and I'm like rubbing your back, and I'm like trying to console you. Are you okay? How are you feeling right now?
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I'm fine. I'm just gonna let the tea do its job, but no, I'm fine now. It usually just takes me a second to collect myself, but yeah, it always shakes me a little bit, but yeah, no, I'm fine. But thank you for your concern.
Vola is sitting there, sort of like twirling her finger around the rim of her glass of wine, contemplating on whether she should divulge information or not. But just sort of pensively looking at this motley group of characters.
I finish my last grub with a hefty swallow, and I turn towards Vola. I'm still suspicious of you. I do not trust you yet. I don't understand why you're with us, and I see this thing happening with Fen over here, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm gonna be a little bit and say, Vola, what do you have to do with this? What's happening here? 1 second we are 5 or 3 merry adventurers, and now Ben over here is having problems. What's happening? Who are you? What are you doing?
What am I doing? How dare you ask me that? What business do you have to ask me something like that?
Well, clearly plenty of business, considering you've gotten all up in hours.
I'm watching this. Can I do an insight check into Vola?
Absolutely. Roll another insight check. Vola, I'm going to ask you for another performance check as well.
What am I? Okay, that's an 11.
Mm-hmm.
I got a natural 20. I don't know what this app is the best. I've never rolled better in a session.
Once again, Smashly, there is an air of mystique around Vola that is making whatever sort of facade she has up just impenetrable to you. You can't tell if she's angry or if she's mad or if she's horny or happy. You can't tell anything about her.
Okay, so you say impenetrable, but that's still. I think I'm looking at her and I can't read based off her face. So I'm just looking at her. She's swirling her thing. And using my helm of telepathy, I'm going to detect thoughts.
Ooh.
Okay. You cast Detect Thoughts. So, I know how Detect Thoughts work, because that spell has fucked up many a campaign for the players. So, you get to get the surface thoughts of Vola without Vola knowing. If you choose to push deeper, I believe Vola rolls a saving throw. And whether she succeeds or not, she knows you tried to invade her mind. So, Vola, what are your surface thoughts? Not like the deep concepts or things that you're rooted for, but like with this conversation with Binkleworm, what is sort of like at the top of your mind?
It's just screaming.
Right. It's
I'm
like a
kidding.
quiet rage. I think that she is focused on
Don't say my height.
I think that
What the fuck is this shorty?
I think that she is repeating a verse over and over again. Should I say it?
Yes, please say the verse or say the line.
I
at
can,
least that
yeah,
you're
I can
repeating.
hear your thoughts.
So I'll read part of it. When the cosmic wanderer's path entwines with those of valor, serenity, and boundless minds, and that's like repeating over and over again.
Are you, Vola, sorry to interrupt, Binkle, are you a poet?
I am not a poet, but I have heard prophecies and omens.
Like what? Would you care to share them with us?
Please share with us. Tell us anything.
Please, please, open up your boundless mind to us.
Or I will open up my boundless fist.
And she kind of squints at you. That's an interesting choice of words there.
Yeah? Why?
But let me tell you this.
Did you see an omen about it?
Omens and prophecies have many meanings, and it is not wise to disperse these to people who are unable to decipher their meanings.
I slam my staff on the ground. Listen, creature, we have somewhere to be. And if we are going to be together through it, we need to work together. So please, if you are going to adventure with us, if you are going to delve into this dungeon with us, we must know more about you and your intentions.
What you say is true. I believe that we must work together. I've heard a prophecy foretold by the stars, and I've made my way here in order to fulfill this prophecy. And I'll read it to you from my little book. When the cosmic wanderer's path entwines with those of valor, serenity, and boundless minds, they'll follow astral whispers to Nocturnal's door, through a divine dungeon, mysteries to explore. In the enigmatic convergence of fates and dreams, amidst the celestial tapestry's intricate schemes, they'll unlock secrets hidden in starry veils, where night and stars weave their enigmatic tales.
I'm just like, I have never heard those words before.
Deception check.
Yeah, I'm just trying to act so cool about it, as if, yeah, it's gonna be good.
Fucking love
Deception?
this.
Vola, you're welcome to roll an insight if you'd like.
That's
Oh, what? An
24,
insight
baby,
check?
That's 24.
I will definitely roll
I've
in.
24.
never heard these words before.
I got a 14.
Okay, so you don't know that Smash is looking in your mind. You actually think like, oh my gosh, I've never heard these words before. Like, oh, she's telling the truth.
Yeah,
This is
I think I convinced
wow.
myself that I actually just like made the prophecy come true.
Oh God.
I believe that the four of us were destined to meet. And I think that we should not spend any less time in the city when we should get to where we need to be going.
I'm kind of with you. I mean, I just said the word boundless minds and then that was written in your book. So like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I believe you.
Vola, what are you thinking of right now? Like your top of the mind thoughts?
This is a mistake.
Actually, you're hearing that. This is a mistake. Just repeated
Right.
that to you.
Just like sharing the prophecy with a group of strangers she just met and would quite possibly be mistaking it for. I mean, these people hold the qualities that the prophecy holds, but like she said before, they could be interpreted different ways. And she's just hoping that this is not regret that she's feeling.
I think I like sit down next to you and like link your arm, and I'm like, you are not gonna regret this.
She kind of like her like jawline tightens up a little bit, like.
Meanwhile, I'm starting to notice the fireflies again, and I'm kind of like twitching at them and having to like actively hold myself in my seat.
As you start twitching, Gilra places another log with grubs in front of you. With that all said,
do any of you other have business here in the city?
I mean, I gotta shag up with Gilra at some point.
She'll be here after we defeat this dungeon.
That's true. That's a good point.
Well, I wouldn't mind taking a look around. To be honest, I do need a few refills on some components that I'm carrying. I'm running a bit low, and I wouldn't mind, stopping for some extra paper and ink if we could.
all right. Vola, you know exactly where you would go for that. You would actually go to Gilra's sibling who's in town. You'd go to the Gold Fang Trading House.
Smashley, you're gonna love this. She directs them to
What?
She directs them to the shop.
All right.
An art supply store. Let's go.
You all start making your way out, heading towards the shop. Binkleworm, you grab like all the rest of the grubs.
I was literally gonna say that and like put them in my bag.
Just
Stuff them in my
toss
bag.
them in your bag, toss
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want, and then just head out.
Yeah.
You follow Vola, wandering further through this beautiful grove, and eventually making your way to what is a much more peaceful area. The Jaguar's spot was raucous and rowdy, and people were throwing each other around the room. There were contests of strength, but this area seems quite quiet within the forest. You find a place that says the Gold Fang Trading House, and there is a sign of 2 golden fangs, much like Gilra has. And stepping into it, you are greeted with a sort of wide room covered in different items and objects, each marked with prices on them. And you see not walking around, but standing towards the back of the area is a very skinny half-orc. He seems to be like very lithe and sort of musculature, with dark black mohawk on his head, and he has no fangs and a eye patch over one eye. And standing with him is a woman who seems not out of place in this entire grove, but out of place specifically in this shop. She seems to be made of leaves and bark, and her skin is like a pale blue color. She is talking in hushed voices with this man, sort of discussing something. And as one of you steps your foot onto the wood in this room, she immediately like clocks you, like with her eyes, looks over and sees you all entering, and she sort of holds a hand up to this half orc and ends their conversation and goes to leave from this building. The half-orc looks over to you all as this woman is starting to walk past you and says, "Oh, welcome, travelers. How can I help you?"
Yeah, I was wondering if you had a general array of different herbs and any just basic minerals and different components for spellcasting.
Spell components, of course. I can absolutely help with that.
Okay.
Any sorts of components you need specifically? Fire, anything that needs to burn, charcoal, string. I know some people ask for.
Let me see real quick. Sorry, I have a list of different ones specifically.
I'm also looking for some craft supplies if you have anything fun and cute.
Obsidian.
You know?
I have plenty of craft supplies if you need anything. Anything specific you're looking for? We have lots of dyes, lots of fabrics made from plants,
I've got,
woven fibers.
I've got lots of that. Like cutesy little things, you know? Knickknacks, bric-a-brac.
Okay. He starts to go through his supplies and look for things. Vola, are you doing anything?
I am immediately interested in this other character.
Roll
And
me a
I would like-
history check to see if
Okay.
you've met this person before. Since you've been here for a week.
19.
With a 19, you haven't
Bitch.
met this person, but you've heard of this person. This person is the architect of this village. I mentioned earlier that this place seems like a druid grove. It's not a druid grove. It is a dryad's grove. And she is the dryad who made it. Her name is Incra. Incra.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you want to do anything with that information?
Do it and a dryad.
Yeah, actually, I
I
would.
should know this, but I don't.
It's okay.
Um,
So let me answer Smashy's question, then we'll come right back to you. A druid is someone who pulls power from nature and can cast magical spells like that. A dryad is a literal person, like a fae, a sort of fairy who has a home tree and has immense control of nature. Can shape wood and trees to defend themselves, etc., etc. They have a level of power that druids aspire to in most cases. But Vola, sorry to interrupt.
I want to speak to her,
Mm-hmm.
and I think would I know what her natural tongue would be?
Her natural tongue would be Sylvan, but she does speak Common.
I'm going to speak to her in Sylvan.
What do you
Since
say?
I am her name was Incra?
Incra, yeah.
Okay. Incra, I don't believe that we've had the pleasure of meeting. My name is Vola Aldora. I have traveled many leagues to arrive in your beautiful city. I was wondering if you could help us with something.
She, as you start speaking to her, she almost looks at you with surprise on her face.
I can understand what
She-
y'all are saying too, by the way.
Do you guys get any of this? What are they,
And
what are they
she
doing?
I can't
giggles to
understand.
herself for a moment and says, "You know, there's not many who can speak my original tongue. It's nice to see someone who at least knows it. Vola, it's a pleasure to meet you. I see that you have... You've been here about a week, haven't you? These folks
I
are new.
have.
Have been here about an hour or so, I'd assume.
I
Are
have
they
been here for
casting
about a week.
spell?
And I have enjoyed the prosperity and the beauty of your grove. And I have had the ultimate pleasure of not residing in your. What am I trying to say? Reveling in your in the natural splendor.
Why, thank you. I'm quite glad that you've enjoyed it. It has taken a lot of work to build this place the way that it is. But you stated that I could help you with something. What do you need?
I have a quandary. Would you be able to help us find entry into this tower that has invaded your land?
No, unfortunately, the tower is outside of my domain. It is not something that I control nor can access. It is also something that is quite dangerous to approach, as it has eradicated the forest around it.
Would you be able to provide us safe passage to this tower?
Through the woods?
Mm-hmm.
I could provide such a thing. There would be a cost, of course. I can't use that sort of power willy-nilly.
And what would your cost be?
How about this? You and your friends purchase what you want from the good Gold Fang. Then come meet me outside and we can discuss actual costs and actual prices. Simple enough.
That seems fair.
She sort of steps towards you, Vola. And the way that she moves, it's less that she's lifting up her feet to move, and more like the tree trunk itself is sliding her forward towards you as the wood bends and moves in a wave. And she approaches you and gets very close to you and says, I hope you can afford my prices. It was so lovely to meet you. And then she moves away out the front door, and as she does, you can hear the leaves that make up her skin and her body and her clothing rustle slightly.
Is this just a dating sim?
No, it's not. This is not a dating sim, but I do like making hot, very intense NPCs.
I love dryads.
So cool.
All right.
All right.
Vola, what was that about? What was that?
We just met the great architect of this city, and let's just say that I have tried to barter with her. Let's make our purchases in here, and we'll explain it further on.
I think she was into you. I couldn't really understand what she was saying, but the body language was fire. Wow.
And that just goes over her head. She's like, not.
Absolutely. Like on her.
She's not entertaining the thought of somebody being attracted to her.
That's totally fine. All right. So what do folks want to get from this place? This is basically like a massive general store.
Right.
Has basically anything you could need besides like intense magical items, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I'm trying to act completely uninterested, but I'm curious, is there anything in the shop that is particularly bright and colorful and shiny that would turn me away, perhaps?
Roll me a D100, why don't you? Let's see what you find.
Oh,
a D100?
That's fun.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm 100% serious.
I don't have a D100. Hold on. Okay, let me Google.
You roll a
D100.
D10 twice and do like first and second.
If you have D&D Beyond, they actually have like a little.
I'm just gonna Google
D100 thing you
D100.
roll.
Here we go. Roll a die. Start. Stop. 29.
Cool. Give me just a moment. Great. With a 29, you see something very strange. It's shiny in a way that it's not like a piece of metal that's shiny. It glows instead. You see a bottle of some, like a sort of triangular bottle with a large glass stopper in it. And inside of it is this brackish yellow liquid. And as you are looking at it, you watch as floating in this liquid and turning around is a singular eyeball that looks at you as it sort of swirls within this potion of some sort.
So I grab it without any, forethought and just swing it around a little bit and go, "Hey, what's this?" To the shopkeeper.
Please be careful with that. Don't swing the merchandise around. If it drops and it breaks, you'll have to pay for it. That is a potion of clairvoyance. It allows you to see things very far away and to look at things and make sure that things are going well. Some military troops use it to spy on things. Other folks use it to make sure that their house isn't getting robbed. Simple things. Please don't drop it. Please don't drop it. Roll me an acrobatics check to see if you drop it.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
I got a 3 plus a 7, 10.
I haven't said if it succeeds or not, so you can still use your portent.
I can still use my what?
What did you want to do, Vola? You want to do something? No?
I mean, I was going to use guidance on them, but I'm no. Never mind.
Okay, all right. You start waving around this bottle, and you hold on to it. It doesn't go flying, but what you do is you fully turn it upside down, and the stopper just slides out, and all the liquid pours onto the ground, and the singular tiny eyeball that was in it just hits the ground with a sickening splat.
I can clean that up. It looks delicious.
Get out. You specifically get out, please.
No. Please, you don't understand. Fine. Bye. Goodbye. I leave. And but I stick my chest out a little bit and swing my tail around and accidentally knock something else over. Yeah, I was gonna leave anyway and knock something else over on my way out. What is it? What did I knock over?
Okay, give me a second.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I got nothing to help you. I'm trying. I thought I had control water, but I don't.
As soon as before anything else happens, as soon as I saw him walking out, I conjure a mage hand before me.
Okay.
And
Roll me an acrobatics check for your mage hand to see if it catch what's about to fall.
okay. Acrobatics.
Vola is
Okay,
seriously regretting
that's a
all
12.
of her life choices at the moment.
A 12. Okay.
Actually,
With
no. I'm before anything happens again. I'm going to use my portent dice, and that'll now be a 15.
Okay. With a 15, you toss out the mage hand instantly as Binkleworm's tail knocks another potion off, and you grab it. Your mage hand catches it, and you can say in the liquid of this thing is this roiling red sort of energy, and you hear a gasp. A very delicate, if I breathe the wrong way, everything's over kind of gasp from the Goldfang who runs this shop.
So the way this I imagine as soon as I saw him pouring out the liquid, and then the shopkeep told him to get out and he was leaving, I reached into my pouch and pulled out a carved stone, and then I just sent out a mage hand forward to catch the potion that fell.
Mm-hmm. And you catch the potion, and he says, please be very delicate with that and just easily put it back on the shelf, please.
Yeah, no problem. And I just
What is
kind of
it?
whistled to myself and then just like have the mage hand just lightly set it back
Lift
down.
up. That is one of our more dangerous potions, which you're not supposed to knock over. That's why there's specifically a thing that says "Do not touch" next to it. That is a potion of fire breath, which would have gone poorly in a place made of wood.
Oh,
So
God.
perhaps you shouldn't put your dangerous potions near
You
where my
left.
tail
What are
would
you
be.
doing here?
I
Well,
It's like
Oh,
put his
I
hand-
thought I
you
wasn't out
shouldn't
the
put
door
your
yet.
dangerous
He-
potions.
Okay.
Well,
I thought I
he-
wasn't out the door yet.
All right, that's fine.
I was gonna say he's yelling again. He's probably outside. Oh, yeah.
By the way, your shop sucks, and I slammed the door. And you can see me out the window,
It's a thin
just like
door.
with my
We can
arms
hear you.
crossed, you know?
Like Vola's just like sitting here like, oh god.
Hello. Welcome to my store. Thank you for not letting it burn down. I know you asked for a bunch of components. I have
Yes.
them ready for you.
Perfect.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. That would be that'd be a 19.
Okay, with a 19, he sort of looks you up and down and says, "Thank you for your help. This batch of components on the house." And he truly just like pushes it over to you and says, "Thank you for not letting my shop burn down in front of my eyes."
You're welcome.
Oh, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that one's a little bit rambunctious, so I assumed that wasn't going to be a quiet exit.
Yeah, we did a lot to help save your shop today.
Yeah.
You can give a persuasion check without advantage because you're not the person who saved the shop.
I have never heard those words before in my life.
Wasn't good. Wasn't good. Persuasion. Oh, wait, no, my persuasion is huge. So yeah, that's 12.
Your persuasion's huge, 12.
That was really bad.
The plus to that's like 8.
Yeah. He looks at you and goes, I can give you a discount.
Sounds lovely. So yeah, craft supplies, bric-a-brac, just cool little things, like souvenirs. What's cool around here?
He places down a lot of different things. So you see
Good.
a shot glass placed out that says Yuzo on it, of course, for the town. He places out a few other like little tchotchkes out there, just like little souvenirs you can take home with you to the family, whatever. He places out some dyes, like colorful dyes made from pigments that you probably wouldn't have been able to get from home. There is like a really, really vibrant purple here, a sort of royal purple that you can get. There
Anything more
are
like a pastel.
a pastel. Okay. There is a very light yellow, like sort of sunbeam falling down from the sky yellow. Perfectly beautiful. You also see that he hands forward a notebook, which has been clearly made from elements of nature, not like processed or anything, but like the cover is made of this plant fiber that has been dyed in different shapes and shades. Picture like any white woman day planner. That's what this looks like, but homemade.
Does it look like this?
But more colorful, yes. Looks and says, "What would you
Amazing.
like?"
How much is this shot glass that says "Yuzo" on it? Of course. Is that like a catchphrase? Like "Yuzo on it"? Of course.
That was me as the GM just saying, of course, there's going to be a shot class, but
I know.
I'm running with it. I'm running with it.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be
It's
a
like nice and like positive and like uplifting.
It's supposed to be like a pun for like you're so on it. Like
I know, I got
you're
it. I got
working
it.
Oh
of
my
course.
gosh, that's great.
I
That
would love it.
with the discount, we'll call it a silver because glass is quite hard to get here. There's not a lot of sand nearby.
Mm-hmm. A silver and this die is fabulous. But I'm
The
really
die will give
interested
you
in this.
for 3 copper.
3 copper. Oh, that's nothing. Yeah, I'll take that. And how much is the notebook?
The notebook is going to be another silver.
So 5 silver, 6 silver, and a copper. That's so
6
nothing.
silver and I believe I said 2 copper. 3 copper. Thank you. I have short-term memory loss.
It's
Wow.
okay.
Now
I'm gonna use this time to kind of saunter out of the shop. Thank you again for the components. I really appreciate it. You've helped a lot, and I'm gonna join.
Thank you for saving my shop.
And I'm gonna join Binkleworm to go check on him.
Mm-hmm.
Continue. Sorry, Irma.
that's fine. And then I just need like something to some ink or paints or something to use the notebook.
He looks around and he goes into a drawer behind the counter and he pulls out a long pen, like a feather, that is the quill of a peacock.
Yay.
And he says, you can have that with the notebook, and here is a small bottle of ink. Made from mushrooms found right in this forest.
Oh, slay.
Do you need anything? He says, looking at you, Vola.
I require nothing.
Fantastic. Well, I hope you both have a good rest of your day, and thank you so much for visiting.
Thank you so much. Also, your sister's hot. Tell her I said we'll be back.
You're not the first person to tell me that, but thank you, I guess. Sort of shakes their head, just like, as you head out. But before we get to what you two are doing, Fen, you head out early. What has Binkleworm been up to outside?
Well, I'm just basically snacking on the rest of the grubs that I have in my bag and sitting cross-legged on the ground, waiting as patiently as I can, practicing my monk mantras to calm me down. My anger has welled up a little bit.
And it's kind of like a change of scene, and I'm in mid conversation just being like, sometimes when I get angry, I just like to tense up my entire body as much as I can, and then I just release, and it really helps things out. But yeah, you might want to watch that tale of yours next time, because that could have been pretty serious. But sometimes emotions are what is the word, irrational. So I'm glad that didn't turn ugly in there.
You are very wise, Fen. You see, this was an issue that I had back at the monastery that I resided in before this. The monks were not particularly fond of me. I don't know what it is about me. I'm always a bit different than the other dragonborn students at the monastery. But I'm doing my best, and I will make my way back soon.
Dragon. Oh yeah. No. Anyway. Yeah. No. I totally understand what you're saying. What and how long did you study there? Like what brought you to the path of the monk, if you will?
I was born there. I was raised from a small hatchling along with all all the other dragonborn students, and we were raised in the way of the four winds and martial arts and the way of the open palm as monks, and we trained together and we fought together for many years.
Oh, well, that's quite respectable. I'm glad to see that you have passion in the things that you do. It shows. So I'm glad that you have something to work towards and get better at. I can relate in that aspect. Yeah, I think I definitely want to keep improving uh where I can study when I can and whatnot. But yeah, I appreciate us working together and trying to figure things out. It's a little complicated.
Indeed, I believe this is what I should say. Th- Thank you, Ben. Did I use the term correctly?
You
No,
did so
no,
good.
that was perfect. You did a bang up job.
Mm.
Yeah, Smashley and Vola, you walk out to hear Brindleworm say thank you. Probably without Brindleworm noticing that you were there until Smashley says you did wonderful.
I'm so proud of you. You never say that. Oh my god. You deserve a little treat.
Shut it.
But I do have a little treat for you.
I don't want your treats. What is it?
What is it?
What is the treat?
Fireflies.
There you go. I leap at this firefly. My meditation is completely disrupted. I jump in the air and leap as hard as I can, overshooting a little bit. But yeah.
Wait, oh my god! You overshoot and we hug, and I am so happy about it.
No!
Ah!
I wriggle my way out of your arm. No!
I knew I'd break through that tiny hard exterior of yours.
Smashley, you are hit with a little bit of saliva as Brindleworm was jumping at you, mouth open, just like salivating for this firefly. But it blends in with the rest.
Yeah, I
beautiful.
don't care at all.
That's really nice. You guys are great.
As the four of you are standing outside, unless Vola, you have anything you want to say about the scene in front of you. Great. Fantastic. Vola truly so frustrated.
This is all going so well.
Stepping out from what seems to be just thin air is Inkra, standing right behind you all and says, "Wow, this is cute, quaint, nice. A sweet little hug. Hello, Vola. And hello,
Hello.
companions."
I am not cute.
Is this in common?
This is in common. All of this has been in common.
Okay.
Oh, there are many who would call you cute, but I do apologize if I offended.
You
I did
did.
not intend it.
You did.
My
Carry
deepest
on.
apologies to you, Brindleworm. And she bows deeply and stands.
It's sorry. It's Binkle.
Binkle, my apologies. That was the GM forgetting the name for a
The-
second.
Binkle
She would have said
suddenly
where
filled
did
with
that
pride, and his eyes light up as this lower creature, shows their obedience to my great will and my power.
Smashley, Fen, nice to see you both.
Oh, you know my name?
How do you? That's so cool. How did you do that?
I know the names of everyone and everything in this grove. After all, I am the grove, and the grove is me.
That's
But
great.
that aside, Vola, you wanted to make a deal of some sort, a trade, per se. Please restate your terms.
We are looking for safe passage to the Dungeon of Nox'Ren.
And is that it? Safe passage?
Quick, safe passage.
There you go. Now you're understanding how this works. And would it be just for you or all four?
It would be for myself and my fellow adventurers. Forces
We're only
it out.
looking for you, if we're making a deal.
What did you say, Smashley? I didn't hear you for a
I
second.
said we're also looking for glue if we're making a deal.
I don't have any glue. She just sort of just shakes her head and just looks away from you, just like not continuing that part of the conversation.
I kind of cock my head to the side. What is glue?
Glue or
You know,
colored
like
pencils,
apples.
maybe. And she looks and says, "Well then, 4 travelers, 1 destination, quick and safe. I can do that easily, but I require something. 1 from each of you. You were hoping to challenge the dungeon, correct?
That is correct.
And you will need your luck for the dungeon, won't you?
Indeed, we will.
I would like a bit of your luck from each of you. Simple enough.
There is no way you're getting my lucky rock. There is no way you're getting it.
Oh no, nothing so simple as that. A lucky rock. I don't need that.
Good.
I mean the essence that surrounds you, the luck that is a part of you, the part of your aura, chance, defiance, defying the will of others and gods. I want a portion of that, just a sip. You'll have enough to survive your journey otherwise, but it might make things a little more interesting. Above the table, this is what she's asking for. She's asking for a piece of your luck. And how that is going to manifest is that I get my own portent on all of you. At one point in the campaign for each character, I may either declare one of your rolls a nat 1 or declare a roll against you a nat 20. Only once per each character.
Okay.
Above
Don't
the
piss
table.
off the DM.
That's really fun. That sounds really fun.
Vola looks to her companions and eyes them. And I guess since we're speaking in Sylvan, conveys the terms.
Yeah, she's actually speaking in common, so
Okay.
everyone understands currently.
All right.
I've trained my entire life from this. I don't think I need luck.
I am willing to give piece of my luck for safe and quick passage to this Dungeon of Nox'Ren. What say you?
I mean, what's like, is that like, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not a religious girl, you know? And everyone's all like up in arms about like what the gods are doing. And it sounds like you're just like, oh, like some kind of, like it's a concept. Luck is a concept. So if you want a concept, take it. It's probably not real. I don't believe in it.
That's the first sensible thing I've heard you say, Smashley.
Unless it comes from a rock. Because this little rock really is so lucky. I just rub it and then like good things happen. So sure, take it. But I
Smashley,
want
you
some
say
cool leaves
that.
from you.
Cool leaves added to the bargain?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You always gotta up the ante.
Fen, what about you? What do you say?
I want to do an insight check.
Okay, go ahead.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yo.
We have, I mean, honestly, the rolls.
With a natural 20, you've read a lot about Fae. You've read a lot about them in the books that your mentor had and the types of things that they do. This seems like an easy deal in the sense of she could have asked for so much more, but she's asking for your luck for a reason. What that reason is unclear. It doesn't seem like she wants to kill you or hurt you, but there's a reason she wants luck. Whether it's for something she plans on doing or something that's going to happen in the future, she wants it. And you know that despite what Smashley says that, oh, it's a concept, you can take it, there is a very real threat of her actually pulling something away from you. And in addition, you know that, like I said, this is an easier deal than what most Fae would have asked for. She could have asked for your name, which would have been your identity, or something else, another piece of you. She could have asked for your eyes, your sight, your bones. She could have taken anything from you that she wanted if you made a deal.
Okay. I'm going to ponder for a second and look her deeply into her eyes while I'm studying her features and understand fully what her intent is, but of course, like, not knowing the full reason. My brow is going to furrow, and I'm just going to I'm going to bow my head lightly to her and say, you can have what you wish from me.
Good. Good to hear, good to know, good to understand. I can give you your quick passage. In fact, we can go there now, as far as I can take you, which, mind you, will not be as close as you probably want to be. You will not be right at the base of the tower, but a mere 100, 200 meters away from it. You'll be able to get there quickly, before the sun sets any further. And Smashley, she looks at you and you can feel a devious smile bubbling up on her face as she says, you may not believe in the concept of luck, but I promise you that when you feel what you've done and what you've given up, you'll believe in something, and I don't think it'll be yourself.
So what about those cool leaves, huh?
She pulls off 2 leaves and hands them to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And as she says that, she holds up a hand to the tree that you're nearest and places it against the tree. And you watch as the bark on the tree expands and stretches, the lines of the wood expanding and pulling and stretching until suddenly there is a door in front of you, or rather, a hole in the tree. And you can see darkness on the other side, unsure of what lies beyond, but knowing that she did make a deal. And from what Fen knows, she will uphold her portion of this deal. What do you four do?
Well, I've got dark vision, so let's
I
go.
just walk on in.
I walk on in too.
Right?
Yeah. It's
I
oh,
mean, can I make
Are-
some kind of check? Sorry,
Yeah.
because I've got dark vision and I can see in there.
You can't see anything in there.
Oh, I can't
even
even
with
with dark
dark
vision?
vision.
Oh, yo, okay.
Can't see anything in there.
just to clarify something that Gilra said earlier, DM. I do know that Professor Ignis is in the dungeon, or was it around the dungeon?
He's around the dungeon. He's in like the area surrounding the dungeon.
Okay.
She would have specifically said it'll be very easy to find him because of the desolate landscape.
Okay. Have we already entered the dungeon?
No, you haven't even entered the like hole in the tree yet. I'm waiting to see if anyone hesitates or stops or what y'all want to do.
I'm gonna stride in.
Okay.
Okay.
You stride in, Smashly, you stride in. God, I don't know why. Binkleworm. My apologies. I'm
Okay.
so bad with this name.
Okay.
Binkleworm, you stride into the tree. Fen, do you hesitate? Do you pause? Or do you walk straight in?
Am I able
First
to
of all-
poke my head back out?
You cannot bring your head back out, unfortunately.
First of all,
Mhm.
before I do anything else, I want to make a field check of just everything around me. Can I see anything that resembles some type of like small like makeshift settlement? Is there like anything that might hint that the professor is staying nearby?
You aren't. Yeah, have you gone through the tree, is what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. You can't see anything inside that tree. There is just a void of darkness that she
Right.
is beckoning you to step through.
But like I'm talking about the general area outside of the. Because are we going into?
You're still in the village. You're still in the village right now.
Oh, sorry. My brain is thinking that like we're going in the tower.
No, she's taking you to the outside of the
Right.
tower.
Okay. Got it. Sorry, my brain
No,
had a
it's okay.
fucking fart there. Yeah. Okay. So then I'll go through the tree. Sorry.
As you go through the tree, the air carries a whisper from the dryad to your ears. It floats like the rustling of leaves as she whispers to you, I hope Zadnir's doing well. And you step through the tree, and that void closes. Our camera jumps as the four of you feel like you are falling. It feels like you are about to strike the earth. You cannot see anything around you. All that is there is darkness beyond compare. You cannot see light. You cannot see your own hands, your fingers. All you feel is the wind carrying you and dragging you downwards. And right before you can let a scream out of your lungs, the four of you are thrown forward out from a tree on the edge of a massive crater. I would like everyone to roll me acrobatics checks.
Come on, can I have one good roll this game, please? Okay.
21.
21?
20.
Great. 20? Great.
Does this count as an ability check, or is that a skill check? Still?
This is just an acrobatics check. This is an ability check, yes.
It is.
17.
Okay, so that's 15.
17.
17, 15, great. All of you are going to take way less damage than you would normally. You're all going to take... Yes?
I have Boots of Flying on,
Mm-hmm.
so I will try to be
You're just
using
going to
those.
activate your Boots of Flying? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
say you can activate your Boots of Flying.
I've
Yeah.
also got evasion as a monk.
I think you have... Do you have Slow Fall yet?
I
as a
also
monk?
have slow fall. I have slow
Okay,
fall
you can
and I
use
have
Slow
evasion.
Fall.
Okay. Because I know that
Cool.
on successful deck saves, I'm supposed to take no damage.
This wasn't a deck save.
Oh,
so
okay, it wasn't. Okay, sorry.
it's all good.
Okay.
So my
How far up are we? How far did you say we're falling?
I didn't say how far up you were falling from. I was just going to describe what happens.
Girl, I said safe passage.
Listen, you passed safe. Never said the exit would be safe. You all basically go flying out from the tree with a velocity that throws you right into this massive crater in the ground. For Fen and Smashly, you both will take 9 falling damage. For our good friends Vola and, of course, Binkleworm, I had to double check. You will not take any falling damage because you have slow fall. Truly, I'm going to get one and just post it right there. Binkleworm and Vola, you take no falling damage since one Vola flies, and Binkleworm, you basically, as you're falling, just touch the side of the crater and do a very epic slide straight down. You all find yourselves in a desolate, rocky landscape. You are not in the forest or the jungles that you knew, but you can see them around the edges of the crater that you are in. It is massive. It is several 100 meters long and wide, and you can see in the distance the tower reaching up towards the sky, further than the clouds themselves are. As you all feel cool winds flowing around you, it's around midday, and you have time to get to the tower. It would only be a quick walk to get there. But there is an aura, an element of uneasiness in this place, as all of you within this crater from the tower that fell from the sky by the god of night and stars can feel a tingling on the back of your necks and your hair standing on edge. You can feel the power of divinity radiating from this tower like a beacon, searching for something, calling something closer. It's unclear the intentions, but it's there. This aura, powerful and present. What do the 4 of you do?
I just collect.
First of all, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I'm not totally bothered by this strange feeling. My monk training has, conditioned me to deal well with, I've got stillness of mind, all of that. So I'm just going to be more annoyed at the way that we were transported here and say, that bitch, she said safe passage. And this is clearly not safe for the rest of y'all.
I think I bruised my ass a little bit. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that deal holds up.
Yeah, that shoot. Excuse my French. That didn't feel too good. But is everyone good? Did you lose anything? Yeah.
I mean, I lost a bit of dignity somewhere down the line, but no, I think I'll be fine.
I'm sure you'll find it.
I don't know about that.
I think you've been missing
this
for a
thing
while.
is huge.
I'm gonna make a
bigger close up.
what do I see around me besides the tower?
Okay, go to make a perception check, please.
I would like to do a perception check as well.
All right, anyone who'd like to can make
I would
one.
like to. Yeah.
I am going to use one of my lucky points to re-roll this fucking dice because I will not settle for a nat 1. That's
Girl, I just did a 1 too. I got an 8.
Okay.
I got
I did good.
I got an 11.
That is an
So
18.
11 for Binkleworm,
18.
18 for Fen.
So 19.
8, I believe you said, for Vola. 19. Great. So, looking around with what everyone's rolled, putting it all together, you can see that this landscape, while it is rocky and desolate, it is not gray stone beneath you. It is pale, almost pale white, as if this entire place was dyed silvery somehow. The stones seem to have craters, smaller ones inside of them themselves, and it's strange. But ahead of you, you see that very far ahead, towards where the tower is, there is what looks like a small circle of tents, about 4 or 5 of them. And you can see that other people are actually climbing down into the crater as you 4 have fallen into it. These people are all geared up with ropes and pythons and everything. They're climbing down the crater. They seem to also be adventurers. There are probably 10, 15 people all climbing down at different points of this crater. But in the distance, you still see that sort of encampment of tents, only 5 or 6 of them all set up, which for Fen, that would be the automatic assumption of, oh, you were told that the professor is living out here right now. This is
Right.
probably where he is.
But before I do that,
yes.
I'm just gonna look at the adventures and I'm going to cast Fireball directly. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I'm going to
Like, no!
immediately
I'm kidding.
murder the competition.
No, us first. Sorry. No, but on that note, as soon as I see the tent, it is no words exchanged. I make a sprint for the tents. No thoughts, just sprint towards the tents.
Okay. What you will do is you see Fen truly move faster than Fen's ever moved, just like full dead on sprint.
Well, that's out of character.
Yeah, I just stopped to watch what the hell is going on with him.
Well, let's catch up. Not used to having to do this, but like try and catch up. Just surprised.
Especially running has never been your fortitude. You're better at swimming. This is like,
Running
it's
in
hot
Running in
outside.
slow motion.
diving flippers,
Clank,
just
clank,
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 clank.
clank.
Vola, what about you as you see your companions, all 3 of them, just start sprinting into this
headache
crater?
keeps getting worse. So
It keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
she just
And
like
as-
shakes her head and just like trudges along behind them, not trying to keep pace, but just
Mhm.
you know, begrudgingly and kind of just like, well, I guess this is where we're going.
All right. You trudge on behind everyone, and as we see you all run into the horizon, we're going to go ahead and end our session there. With questions of who lies in those tents beyond, what might be happening there, and what all's going on with the Dungeon of Nox'Ren. With that said, let's go ahead and give our introductions, everybody. Why don't we start with Edie?
I don't know what I'm supposed to say with this. I've had a great experience. This is so fun.
Who are you? Where can people find you on the internet?
Oh,
That kind of
I don't
thing.
know. We didn't talk about this. I'm Edie Cheezburger. You can find me in Atlanta just randomly. All my socials are Edie Cheezburger, and it's with a Z. But yeah, I've had a great time. That's it.
All right. Let's go to Evah. Who are you? Where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah. Evah Destruction here. And you can find me, Twitter, Instagram, hate Facebook, don't use it ever again. And the way it's spelled, Evah Destruction, no characters or spaces or anything like that. Just, I'll be around. I'll be following along the new season of Dragula as we continue with every episode. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this all goes. I'm glad to be back streaming D&D again with you guys.
Of course. Irma?
I'm Irma Gerd. You can find me Queen Irma Gerd on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm also on Facebook, TikTok. I'm on Farmers LinkedIn. I'm on the Greco Delivery Pizza app. I'm on Grindr. I'm on Plenty of Fish. So wherever you want to look.
Damn, Plenty of Fish. That's a
Wow,
throwback.
look at that.
Astrud and yourself?
My name is Astrud. You can find me, it's very simple, ASTRUDAURELIA, so easy and simple to spell on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on TikTok. I post Five Nights at Freddy's Smashability blind ranks. And that's about it. I'm also excited for the new season of Dragula. Follow me if you want to see me ramble and rant, or post about lizard porn. So love you guys so much.
And I'm RK Wild. I've been your GM and host of this game. You can find me everywhere online at Russ Wildest. Spelled like it sounds. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and a bunch of other places. Thank you all for coming and watching Dungeon of Nox'Ren. Once again, we'd like to thank Casters and Castles for hosting, and we welcome anyone to the Death Dragon Decadence community. Please follow us at Drag Decadence to know when we are going to be playing again. If you're interested in watching our VOD, it'll be up on Casters and Castles, which can be found at Casters, the letter N, Castles. We would also like to shout out our amazing producer, Willow, who you can find on Twitter at IcarusOBS. And in addition, our next session of the game is going to be on November 20th, so we aren't playing on the US Thanksgiving. But hopefully we'll see you all there. And besides that, have a good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Thanks.